The champagne glasses stopped clinking, and 300 Hollywood elite watched as River Phoenix and Johnny Depp processed being told they'd never be stars by an Oscar winner. Beverly Hills, November 1991. The Beverly Wilshire Hotel transforms into Hollywood's most exclusive sanctuary as the industry celebrates another year of cinematic achievement. Tonight's gala represents more than entertainment. It's a demonstration of artistic hierarchy where established legends mingle with emerging talent and where single conversations can elevate careers or destroy them with surgical precision. The hotel's grand ballroom glows under crystal chandeliers that cast golden light across marble floors polished to mirror perfection. Round tables draped in ivory silk accommodate the most powerful decision-makers in entertainment, directors whose names appear above titles, producers who control $100 million budgets, actors whose presence alone guarantees international distribution deals. River Phoenix, 21 years old, navigates the elegant crowd wearing a perfectly tailored charcoal tuxedo that complements his natural grace without overwhelming his youthful features. His blonde hair catches the ambient light, styled but maintaining that rebellious texture that suggests authenticity rather than manufactured perfection. Tonight, he carries himself with quiet confidence earned through recent critical acclaim for challenging dramatic roles. Beside him, Johnny Depp moves through the sophisticated gathering with characteristic intensity, his own formal attire reflecting personal style within conventional boundaries. At 28, Johnny projects the assurance of someone who has successfully transitioned from television recognition to serious film credibility, earning respect from industry veterans through consistently bold artistic choices. "This is what success is supposed to feel like," River observes quietly, taking in the opulent atmosphere where Hollywood's most accomplished figures celebrate their achievements. "Success," Johnny replies with slight irony, "or the carefully orchestrated illusion of it. Sometimes hard to tell the difference at these things." They've been invited because their recent work has generated industry buzz that translates into award season consideration. River's performance in My Own Private Idaho and Johnny's collaboration with innovative directors like Tim Burton have positioned both actors as representatives of their generation's approach to filmmaking, more psychologically complex, more emotionally honest than their predecessors. The evening unfolds with practiced elegance. Conversations flow around tables where legendary filmmakers share insights with younger talents, where established stars offer guidance to rising performers, where the entertainment industry celebrates its capacity for artistic reinvention across generations. Both actors handle themselves admirably in discussions with critics, producers, and fellow performers. They demonstrate intelligence and passion about their craft that impresses even cynical industry veterans who expected typical young celebrity superficiality. "Your generation brings something different to screen performance," observes Margaret Chen from the Los Angeles Times during cocktail conversation. "More psychological depth, more willingness to explore character vulnerability." "I think audiences are ready for more complex representations of human experience," River responds thoughtfully. "They want to see characters who reflect real emotional struggles, not just idealized heroic fantasies." As the evening progresses, the atmosphere grows more intimate. This is where real industry business happens, not in boardrooms or agencies, but in casual conversations between courses, where career-defining opportunities emerge from personal connections and mutual respect. That's when they encounter Harrison Blackwood. Blackwood represents Hollywood royalty, a 70-year-old actor whose career spans 5 decades and includes 2 Academy Awards for performances that defined cinematic excellence for multiple generations.
His filmography reads like a history of American cinema, featuring collaborations with every major director from the past half-century and roles that established him as one of the greatest actors of all time. He approaches their table with the measured dignity of someone whose artistic legacy is secure, whose opinion carries weight that can influence casting decisions across multiple studios. His presence immediately commands attention from everyone nearby, conversations pausing as people recognize genuine Hollywood legend. River Phoenix and Johnny Depp, Blackwood says, his voice carrying the trained authority that made him famous, rich with theatrical training and decades of commanding screen presence. The young actors everyone claims represent the future of serious filmmaking. River and Johnny stand respectfully, understanding they're in the presence of artistic achievement they can only aspire to match. Blackwood's handshake is firm, his eye contact direct, suggesting genuine interest in their conversation rather than perfunctory celebrity networking. "Mr. Blackwood," River says with sincere admiration, "your work has influenced every actor of my generation. It's an honor to meet you." Blackwood nods graciously, but there's something in his expression that suggests evaluation rather than simple acknowledgement. He studies both young actors with the calculating gaze of someone whose professional judgment has been refined through 50 years of industry experience. "I've been watching your careers with considerable interest," Blackwood continues, settling into the conversation with the comfort of someone accustomed to being the center of attention. "Your recent performances show real commitment to challenging material." The compliment feels genuine, offering hope that this legendary performer recognizes their artistic potential and might provide mentorship or professional endorsement that could transform their career trajectories. "But I feel compelled to share some perspective gained through 5 decades in this industry," Blackwood adds, his tone shifting subtly from praise towards something more complicated. River and Johnny exchange a quick glance, sensing the conversation is about to take an unexpected direction. Blackwood continues with the authority of someone whose opinions have shaped industry standards for generations. "The entertainment business is more challenging than it appears from the outside. Real, lasting success requires qualities that go beyond talent and good looks." The qualification hangs in the air, suggesting their success thus far might be based on superficial rather than substantial foundations. "You're both talented young men with obvious appeal to contemporary audiences," Blackwood acknowledges. "But talent alone doesn't guarantee longevity in this profession. The actors who endure, who build careers that matter beyond momentary popularity, possess something deeper." Johnny leans forward slightly, genuinely curious about wisdom from someone whose career represents everything they hope to achieve. "What qualities do you think separate lasting careers from temporary success?" Blackwood appears pleased by the serious question, as if he's been waiting for an opportunity to share hard-earned professional insights with the next generation. "Gravitas," Blackwood responds immediately, "the ability to command respect through presence alone, screen authority that audiences recognize instinctively, the kind of weight that comes from life experience and artistic maturity." He pauses, allowing his words to settle before delivering his assessment with devastating precision. "I'm afraid you'll never be stars in the traditional sense. Real stars, the kind who define cinema history. You're talented performers who will work steadily, but you lack the fundamental qualities that create legendary careers." 9 seconds of absolute silence follow. The elegant conversation around their table continues, but River Phoenix and Johnny experience the moment as if sound has been muted, allowing them to process not just Blackwood's words, but their implications for everything they've worked toward. Other guests at nearby tables sense something significant happening, conversations slowing as people recognize potential drama unfolding between Hollywood legend and rising talent. Then River Phoenix takes a controlled breath, his movement deliberate and respectful rather than defensive. Johnny mirrors his composure, both actors demonstrating the maturity that contradicts Blackwood's assessment of their capabilities. "Mr. Blackwood," River says, his voice quiet but carrying authority that surprises the older actor, "I understand your perspective comes from decades of experience, and I respect that wisdom." Blackwood nods, expecting gracious acceptance of his professional judgment from actors young enough to be his grandsons. River continues, his confidence growing with each word. "But I think you might be defining stardom based on standards that no longer reflect what audiences need from their entertainment." The room around them grows noticeably quieter as people realize they're witnessing something unprecedented, a young actor respectfully challenging Hollywood royalty's artistic assumptions. "Your generation of stars represented strength through emotional distance, heroism through invulnerability," River explains, his tone remaining respectful but gaining passionate conviction. "That worked for audiences who needed those fantasies, who wanted to believe in perfect heroes who never struggled with doubt or fear." Johnny steps forward, supporting his friend's argument. "Our generation grew up with different challenges. We don't need perfect heroes, we need authentic ones, characters who reflect real psychological complexity, real emotional struggles." Blackwood listens with growing attention, clearly not expecting such articulated resistance to his professional assessment. River addresses the core issue directly. "You suggest we lack gravitas, but maybe we're developing a different kind of screen presence, one based on emotional honesty rather than traditional masculine stoicism." The silence that follows is electric with possibility. 300 industry professionals sense they're witnessing a generational dialogue about the evolution of screen stardom, about how artistic standards adapt to serve contemporary audiences. Margaret Chen approaches their table, her journalist instincts recognizing significant story development. "This is actually a fascinating discussion about generational changes in screen presence and audience expectations." Other industry veterans nod, some looking impressed by the intelligence and passion both young actors have demonstrated in defending their artistic vision without disrespecting established achievement. Blackwood studies both actors with new interest, seeing qualities he hadn't initially recognized: intelligence, conviction, the ability to articulate complex ideas about their craft under pressure. "You've given me something to consider," Blackwood admits slowly. "Perhaps my definition of stardom is more limited than I realized." He extends his hand to both actors. "Whether or not you become stars in the traditional sense, you've proven tonight that you're serious artists worthy of respect." The rest of the evening transforms completely. Instead of being dismissed as talented but limited young performers, River and Johnny find themselves in substantive conversations with industry legends who recognize their intelligence and artistic vision. The exchange becomes the most discussed moment of the gala, generating coverage in major entertainment publications as an example of how thoughtful dialogue can bridge generational differences in artistic philosophy. Weeks later, both actors receive offers for leading roles in prestige productions, with directors specifically referencing their gala exchange as evidence of the maturity and depth they want in their leading performers. Years later, after River's tragic death, Harrison Blackwood speaks about their encounter in interviews. "River taught me something important that night," Blackwood says, "that wisdom isn't limited by age, that the next generation might approach stardom differently than we expected, but their impact could be even more meaningful." 9 seconds at a Hollywood gala in 1991. One moment when two young actors refused to accept limitations based on generational assumptions rather than individual capability. One choice that demonstrated how respect and intelligence can transform potential dismissal into mutual recognition. The night that proved stardom isn't about fitting traditional definitions. It's about having the vision and courage to create new ones that better serve the stories your generation needs to tell.